SMS Dr. Koh Poh Koon.
Mr. Chairman, today I will address the challenges faced by our healthcare workers, especially during the pandemic, and outline MOH's longer-term efforts to take care of our healthcare workers' well-being and professional development. Even before the pandemic, an aging population and increased burden of chronic diseases have placed an increased demand for more healthcare manpower. We factored these needs into our manpower plans and recruitment initiatives. But COVID-19 has stretched us further. We had to adjust our manpower deployment during the pandemic to meet evolving needs, such as the migrant worker dormitory outbreak, as well as swab and vaccination operations. To Mr. Pritam Singh's query about preparations for ICU surges, I want to reassure him that we have sufficient equipment and consumables to step up ICU beds significantly. And as of January 2022, more than 800 healthcare non-ICU nurses have been trained as a reserve to augment ICU nursing manpower by up to 57%. This will enable us to stretch our ICU temporarily if needed. Thankfully, our ICU capacity is able to cope with the current surge, and patients requiring ICU care are a fraction of what we had during the Delta wave. Nonetheless, we will continue to make the necessary contingency plans given how unpredictable the pandemic has been. But the pandemic has caused a sudden surge in workload and severely stretched our healthcare workforce. We reprioritized workload and reduced non-essential elective treatments. Absenteeism rates have stayed low, below 10% so far. Not only have we stretched the public healthcare sector, but those in the private sector stepped forward to help in so many ways, including support from nursing and other healthcare students, as well as the SAF. Many have gone beyond their call of duty, and we owe them a debt of gratitude. In spite of COVID-19, we have persisted with actively recruiting for our healthcare workforce from both local and international sources. As of end 2021, the public healthcare workforce stood at about 62,500 staff, an increase of about 1,800 compared to end 2020. To address Mr. Pritam Singh and Dr. Shahira Abdullah's concerns about attrition, MOH had previously shared that the average attrition rate of doctors and nurses from public acute hospitals in 2020 and 2021, combined together, was comparable with that in 2019. Specifically, the overall attrition in our public healthcare workforce was 9.6% in 2019, and it dipped to 6.8% in 2020 in the height of the pandemic. This then accumulated, resulting in a rise in 2021 with a 9.8% overall attrition. But this is rather similar to our 9.6% in 2019.